We believe that there can always be a happy ending. No matter what the problem, we're not meant for tragedy. We're meant for triumph.
Hello and welcome to interview number 28 of Whatever. And today we have another special guest, Terese Messman. Terese, how are you today?
Fabulous, Paul. It's a beautiful day in St. Louis.
Great. Thanks for joining us. So listen, Terese, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm from the upper Midwest, the heartland of America.
And
And
where do you live now?
I'm in the St. Louis area, but I raised my kids in Chicago. I was there for 30 years.
Wonderful. So
Yeah,
you basically live mostly in the Midwest area.
that is correct. Although I've also lived in Europe and I've lived in Arizona. So
Awesome.
get
Yeah,
around.
great. And what do you do, Terese?
I love to pray for people. And as I see it, the healing practice, which is really just following the law of love, is something that we infuse in any work that we do. I've had a career in sales, and my first job out of college, nobody would hire me in sales without a business degree, but I answered an ad for what was an unheard of little company at the time called Apple.
Wow.
And yeah, it was an opportunity. And a lot of my journey in Christian Science has been learning to break through the barriers of what other people think we should and shouldn't do.
Awesome.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I think we're probably going to get the answer to this question, but did you grow up at a Christian Science Sunday school or did you
I
come to
did
science?
not. I did not. I grew up in a wonderful Protestant home, and my parents took us to church. There was a wonderful youth group. We had the best medical care that money could buy. But I saw a mom with a chronic illness. She was ill, semi-invalid the whole time I was growing up. And it
Wow.
was frustrating to me. And then in my early 20s, when I thought I had the world by the tail, I had an injury that didn't get better. And I was told after several months of medical treatment that I would just have to learn to live with the pain. It was degenerative. It was terrifying. And in a moment of desperation in a hospital room, I reached out to God in prayer and said, God, if you're even there, if there's anything you can do to fix me, get me out of this mess, I'll do whatever you want. Well, the story, the healing, it took a year and a half. A dear friend from the choir at University of Illinois shared a science and health with me. And at that point, I was like, ready, whatever, that was my whatever. I'll try whatever. And the message that Christian Science gave was that no matter what your problem is, you can have a healing. Yeah, I found a tremendous love in the Christian Science church members. And after a year and a half of no improvement, a physicist at UCLA. By that time, I'd moved out west, and I was still in so much pain that I couldn't sit up for more than a few hours. But I would go to part of the meetings at this youth meeting at UCLA, and I sat next to a physics professor who explained to me from a quantum physics standpoint why the physical universe is not all we think it is, that we live in a universe of thought. And he said, as a Christian Scientist, I take it a step higher. We live in a universe of love. Well, all of my fears about people pleasing, what would my friends think that went to medical school? What would my parents think, that I was following this religion that said we are not material? All of that released because this man of science with the PhD told me I lived in a universe of love.
Wow.
So I flew back to Phoenix, looked at the stars, and I felt this beautiful sense of divine love. And the next morning, I woke up cleaning behind the toilet. That was the beginning of another career, and found myself completely pain-free. So I decided to fulfill my end of the bargain because I'd said, God, if you can get me out of this mess, I'll do whatever you want. So I joined the Christian Science Church, and that has been an adventure of 40 some years.
That's awesome. So I think we can guess the answer to this next question. But Terese, why are you a Christian Scientist?
Because the friend that shared it with me said, Terese, we believe that there can always be a happy ending. no matter what the problem, we're not meant for tragedy. We're meant for triumph. And I've had some healings that have come very quickly. A sprained ankle at Cedars Camp that really, was all swollen, and I had a healing overnight. Other healings took 2 years. And those healings, I had to work and change my character and let go of some tangle of limitation, um, and learn more about how much God loves me. But be it slow or fast, up to thee, no matter whether it's a quick healing or a slow one, there is always a happy ending for us and a blessing that will take us forward. And it's the problem solving that I love about Christian Science. And I got to say this, Paul, because I was raised in a different faith. I don't think of myself as a denominational, like I am this.
Right.
I believe that the laws of God are universal and encompass all faiths. And in my sharing of my faith, it's not about talking about it, it's living it. Okay.
Good.
Helping friends, people I meet in the planes or whatever. And sharing, no matter what it is, hey, it could be just a simple word or two. God loves you, or God can heal that, or
Right.
I was healed of an incurable, because I've been healed of 2 incurables.
Right.
And yeah, so it's what I do. So I started sharing Christian Science. I didn't go looking for people. I met a lady in the dollar store, a woman on a hike, somebody in a hotel, and something would come up where I'd say, why don't you come to church with me? Because I think you'd enjoy hearing about this. And so during that time, Paul, and this, I would call it the epiphany time, when I realized this really is, I don't have to be worrying about what people think. I'm just going to share what I love and what works. I invited 14 people to my branch church.
Wow.
2 of them became students of Christian Science. One of them is having a healing of blindness in her 80s. Hello, there is no age, honey. Age is just a number and mine's unlisted. But I love sharing, and it's kind of like, Paul, if you have a favorite restaurant, you want to tell everybody about it, or a great new recipe, or a great car that you love, you just naturally share it. Why do we hold back from sharing? Because we're afraid of what people think. Oh, are you the people that don't go to
Right.
doctors? No, we're
Right.
not. We just heal through prayer, and we do get temporary help if we need it. But the bottom line is, people pleasing is mortality. God pleasing, we only have one authority to please, and that's our loving Father, Mother, God.
So you've touched on it a little bit, but why, can you specifically tell us why you love sharing Christian Science?
Because everybody deserves to have a happy ending. If you really love your neighbor, Paul, you're not going to hide out in your house.
That's true.
Okay. You're going to get out and join the hiking club, join the dining club, get out away from the Christian Science bubble. You do not want to just hang out. And believe me, I'm in the Principia community. I know
Gotcha.
that there's a danger. You feel so cozy and comfy with your own,
Right.
what they call like-minded thinkers. Forget it. Jesus wanted us to put our light on the hill, not
Right.
hide it under a bushel. So take
Right.
off that bushel, get out there and love your neighbor. Love, love, love. And that's the key to everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how have you grown spiritually by sharing Christian Science?
It challenges me not to try to fix others, because, Paul, the only one we have control over is our own self, our own thinking. If I tend to get critical, think, oh, they need to do this, or I need to fix them, or change their politics, or, whatever. No, I need to change my own thought. Why am I seeing anything less than God's child?
Right.
And we behold that person we're criticizing as the loved of love. Things change.
Well,
Yeah.
this has been an amazing interview. You are a wonderful servant of God, a great addition to our movement. I'm sure our subscribers have learned a lot, and this has been very helpful. So thank you very much for spending some time with us.
It's all about love, Paul. It's all about love.
Okay. Take
Thank
care.
you. Take care, Paul. Much love.